Welcome back to our 3-in-1 birthday special for Scott Weinger, Jodi, Benson, and Henry Winkler with another Nintendo Wii U game. We're going to play Jeopardy. Let's see how it goes.
This is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories. Inty Fresh. You're going to win a Pulitzer. Literature. Back in the 1990s. TV shows by Emmy winner. And ouch! Where do we begin, Player 1? When the UK's 99-year lease on this crown colony ended, China retook control on July 1st, 1997. Player 1? Good. Player 1. On August 10th, 1993, she was sworn in as the 107th Supreme Court Justice. Player 1? That's not it. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the correct response. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You're partying like it was February of 1999. Hugo Chavez became president of this country. Okay, Player 1. That is correct. Good. Back on the plus side. On January 1st, 1993, two new European nations were formed from the split of this suddenly ex-country. It's Player 1. Right. On October 26, 1994, a peace treaty was signed between Israel and this country led by King Hussein I. Player 1? Good. Player 1. Pick again. Hue or die? Let's hear it, Player 1. That's correct. Player 1. A thin piece of rigid material to maintain a body part in a fixed position. Let's hear it, Player 1. Good for you. A short race at full speed. Okay, Player 1. That's correct. 5-letter word for gleaming brightness or luster. Player 1. That's right. Way to go. Player 1. To look with the eyes partly closed. Player 1. Hey, you're right. You get to pick again, Player 1. In Chapter 52 of this novel, A boisterous crowd is gathering for Fagin's execution. Yes, player one? That is correct. 19th century author, known for writing about a venerable mansion with 7 acutely peaked gables. Player one? You are correct. Player one, people from the past appear to a brother and sister in Rewards and Fairies by this author of The Jungle Book. Okay, player one. You got it. Modern novels with biblical titles include Jane Hamilton's The Book of Ruth and Toni Morrison's Song of Him. Player one? Good. Player one? Even Grendel would love Seamus Heaney's new translation of the Anglo-Saxon epic about this title geet. Okay, player one? Yes. You get to pick again. The rheumatoid type of this is 3 times as common in women as in men. It's player one. Good. When these are less than 5 minutes apart and last about a minute, you're in labor, and the fun is just beginning. Player one? Yes. All right, here with the clue is Kelly.
Look out! A symbol depicting waves, a skull and crossbones, and a person fleeing warn that a device is a source of this.
Yes, player one? Correct. Player one. Per the Major League Baseball injury report, Randy Johnson missed his last regular season start of 2006 due to back these. Player one? You are correct. So, an amputee may suffer real pain from this ghostly type of limb. Player one? No, that's not right. Any other takers? The correct response is Phantom. You get to 2009, Glenn Close. Yes, player one? No, sorry. Anyone else? Player two. Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? Let's hear it, player three. Correct. Player three, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? 2008, Alec Baldwin. It's player one. You are correct. 2009, Bryan Cranston. Let's hear it, player one. Right. 2011, Juliana Margulies. Okay, player one. No, that's not right. Any other takers? It's player two. Oh, sorry. That's incorrect. Anyone else? Player three? Yes! Player three, you start us off. 2004, Cynthia Nixon. Player one? You got it. Where do we begin? Julia Keller won in 2005 for her reporting on a 10-second event, the destruction of Utica, Illinois, by one of these. Yes, player one? Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? Here's the correct response. A tornado. In 2007, counterintelligence columnist Jonathan Gold became the first critic of these to win a Pulitzer. Okay, player one. Yeah! This city's Herald won in 1993 for public service for coverage of Hurricane Andrew and its aftermath. Yes, player one? You got it. The first two Pulitzers for writing these, to the New York Tribune and Louisville Courier-Journal, didn't name the authors. Player one? Right. And here's the $1,000 clue. Answer, it's the Daily Double. And you have the lead. What are you going to wait? Okay, here is the clue. Russell Jones won for his reporting about Soviet repression from this capital in 1956. However, you keep your lead. Here's the correct response. Budapest. Player two, you're going first in the Double Jeopardy round when we return. We start the Double Jeopardy categories with this one. Famous Canadians. Energy. Movies by characters. Latin American history. Death of an author. And you picked a fine time. All right, let's get back into this. Player two has control. In 1937, an explosion of this, unodorized, killed 300 people in a New London, Texas school. Okay, player one. That's correct. Here's Jimmy from our Clue Crew with the clue.
A windmill is a simple type of this, a machine with a rotor to turn flow into energy.
Let's hear it, player one. No, sorry. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? We're talking about turbine. The Sequoia 1 nuclear reactor near Chattanooga is operated by this agency established in 1933. Yes, player one? Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Okay, player two. Yep, good. Back on the plus side. Player two, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? The SPR, the Strategic This Reserve, was created by the U.S. government in 1977. It's player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's the response we were looking for. Petroleum. You again, player two. Electricity can be produced by CSP, short for this solar power. It's done with mirrors. It's player one. Nope. Anyone else? Here's what we were looking for. Concentrating. Select again. 2011. Gary, Mary, Kermit. It's player one. 1964. President Merkin Muffley, General Buck Turgidson. It's player one. Good for you. 1974. Bart, Lily von Stoop, Governor William J. LaPetamine. Player one. Hey, you're right. Great, you're back into it now. 1995. Longshanks, Princess Isabel, Robert the Bruce. Okay, player one. Right. 1984. Dr. Peter Venkman, Dr. Egon Spengler, Gozer. Okay, player one. Yes. We return to you, player one. She died on July 18, 1817, after dealing with some pride and prejudice in her day. Let's hear it, player one. That is correct. On September 28, 1891, he died in New York City after a whale of a life. Player one. That's it. No amount of electricity could reanimate her on February 1st, 1851. Okay, player one. That's right, way to go. After October 19, 1745, he would make no more modest proposals. Player one. That's right, way to go. It was this author, not the wallpaper, who went on November 30th, 1900. Yes, player one? That's correct. You get to pick again, player one. In 1917 and 1918, Ontario's Billy Bishop claimed 72 aerial victories as an ace in this war. Yes, player one? You are correct. Toronto-born journalist Morley Safer began co-hosting this TV news magazine way back in 1970. Let's hear it, player one. Good. You again, and I'll hand it off to Jimmy.
This mariner's 16th century explorations of the Gulf of St. Lawrence laid the basis for French claims to Canada.
Let's hear it, player one. That's right, way to go. Player one. Answer, the first of the Daily Doubles. And answer, co-discoverer of this pancreatic hormone, Ontario's Frederick Banting won a 1923 Nobel Prize. You have maintained your lead. There you go. Please, this Nova Scotia man founded a famous line of ships in 1838. Yes, player one? Good. Please pick it. Let's go over to Jimmy.
In 1565, Portuguese knight Estácio de Sá founded this Brazilian city on Guanabara Bay.
Okay, player one. Yep. By the 7th century, this civilization city of Tikal in the Yucatan had a population of tens of thousands. Player one? No. Anyone else? We're talking about the Mayan. In 1541, Pedro de Valdivia, a soldier of this Inca conqueror, founded the city of Santiago in Chile. It's player one. Good for you! In 1957, this physician and patron of voodoo was elected president of Haiti, which he ruled with an iron fist for 14 years. Okay, player one. Right. In December of 1980, a junta appointed José Napoleon Duarte president of this small Central American country. It's player one. Yes. We return. Deion Sanders knows this term for the evening hours when the largest audience is available for TV. Okay, player one. Player one. Estimated at around 30 years, it's accepted as the average period between birth of parents and their offspring. Let's hear it, player one. That's correct. The time just before sunset or after sunrise on a movie set, or a former LA Lakers late-night talk show. Player one. You got it. Answer. The other Daily Double. You are in the... And the Daily Double clue. We had pleasant sensations learning about the era of this, which covered President Monroe's 2 terms. Sorry, that drops you down to 3rd. Here's the correct response. Good feeling. Now let's take a look at that $2,000 clue, shall we? This longest division of geologic time doesn't have a fixed period. In astronomy, it's 1 billion years. It's player one. That's right, way to go! I'll see you all for Final Jeopardy in just a moment. Here comes the Final Jeopardy, players. The category is this. Notable women. So, what's your wager? All right, players, this is what it comes down to. Here is the Final Jeopardy clue. In 1963, she said, "I feel as though I'm suddenly on stage for a part I never rehearsed." Did you come up with the correct response? With that correct response, you will gain. Did you come up with the correct response? And that will cost you. And your response? And this correct response will add how much to your score? This makes you our new champion, player one. So congratulations. Thanks for playing, everybody. See you next time.